Hey
Hello.
guys.
Hey.
Hey, can you hear us okay?
Can you see us both?
Here.
You might need to squeeze together a little bit.
Or
Oh, is it just a little?
Should I go onto my own?
It's up to you. If you want to call in separately, that's fine too.
I mean, we'll be right next to each other.
Do you only see this like little teeny square of us? Just,
Are we live now?
we are live now.
all right.
Okay, here's somebody. Okay, let's try it this way. There we go. The audio might be a little bit funny though now. So.
Oh, that's true.
I know. Maybe I'll just go like this. We feel like we're like 50 and we don't know how to deal with or 60 and don't know how to deal with technology.
I mean, I'm turning 47 tomorrow, so it's not wrong.
It's your birthday tomorrow. Wow, happy birthday.
Thanks. Don't ever say that again.
Well, thank you, both of you, for a beautiful program tonight. And thanks to those of you who are tuning in and watching and joining the conversation. Please don't be shy about putting things in the chat if you have any comments or particularly any questions for our fantastic duo this evening.
Let's just do this one. Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, we live together. So.
That is true. So we are COVID responsible in the fact that they live together anyways. Yes. I wish that on this program I could make my part narrower and we could increase the width of yours, but unfortunately.
No, it's not necessary.
Well, thanks, guys. How do you feel?
Good.
I was happy. Were you happy? How do you feel?
I'm very happy. What are you talking about?
No, we loved we were very happy with how it turned out musically, and
yeah,
we were.
Yes, for sure. I wonder if you guys might just speak a little bit.
For real CD.
Sorry, we've got audio delay. I wonder if you guys might just speak a little bit about the connection that you see between Purcell and Britain. Like, how did you choose the program?
Well, I mean, a lot of people have accused both of them of being the best setters of English text. It's not something bad to be accused of, but I mean, I think that's one of the things that really pairs them together. I mean, and also Britain was very familiar with all of Purcell's music and wrote out actual very complicated realizations of Purcell's bass lines, which, you know, I'm just improvising based on Purcell's bass lines, but Britain, you know, was writing at a stage where people had kind of lost that ability to improvise on the bass lines, and so he wrote out very elaborate and you know, not too terrible arrangements or, you know, realizations of these bass lines for keyboard players to play. So he's intimately familiar with all of Purcell's music. That's part of it.
I mean, I agree as well. Like, we always talk about how Purcell is this best setter of English text, and then Britain is the second best. And I also find that I mean, they're very similar in reality. Like, Purcell is kind of like this jaunty Baroque writer, and in reality, it kind of reminds me of Britain's writing. You want to think very rhythmically in Purcell's writing, and you definitely need to think very rhythmically in Britain, or else you're missing the boat. So in many ways, you can see Britain looking back at Purcell.
Absolutely. Adam, I wonder if you might speak just a little bit more about what you said a moment ago about how the fact that Purcell only wrote a bass line. Like, for some people watching, they might not understand what that means.
Right. So, yeah. So, starting around 1600, that's kind of the start of the Baroque period, and it started with a new kind of music where composers were aiming. They were aiming to make music that was very communicative to an audience. And what that ended up being was basically one singer and one, what we call a continuo instrument. And that it could be a harpsichord, it could be some kind of lute family instrument or organ. And so this is largely the function of the keyboard in ensemble music from around 1600, through the early 1700s. And it's just a bass line written out with numbers and symbols that indicate to us what kinds of harmonies to play along with this bass line. And, I teach a 2-semester course in how to do this. And it takes quite a bit longer than 2 semesters to get really good at it. But that's the kind of that was the role of the keyboard and the lute family instruments also.
So this begs the question whether Aaron has commentary about what you play with your right hand as you're going along.
No, the funny thing is that lots of times, because I play with lots of different people that do this type of stuff, I just know if they're not playing with me. I don't usually, sometimes like a continuo player will ask me if I prefer this chord or this chord. And I will say that I don't listen to music. I don't sit, like Adam can sit there and say, oh, this is a 6/4 chord. This is a 6th chord and a 7, 8, and 9. And I just say, I don't really like this one over this one. And I'm not going to be able to tell you which chord you're playing, but
right.
I can tell you what I like, and I can tell you if it's working. Yeah.
And and it's more than just about what the notes are, what harmonies I play. It's also about reflecting in what I'm playing the mood of what he's saying. Mm-hmm. So there are various ways to go about doing that, but it's I'm supporting his delivery of the text. And do in this I think we froze.
Yeah. So it's a very reactive art form. Yes. in its best, it's a very collaborative, even if that collaboration is not overtly kind of articulated.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just have to say thank you for inviting us to do this concert, because it's been such a hard time for probably every musician that is working right now, and the ones that aren't because of the situation. But I've been doing a lot of performing since the pandemic in other kinds of contexts, and
it's nice to be able to do something live.
With someone close by. We don't have to wear a mask. We don't have to do it from different states. Mm-hmm. We're playing together like normal, and it's such a luxury these days. So
thank you for you and to Emmanuel.
No, we're so thrilled to have you.
Here comes a cat.
Part of the series. So I was going to ask about the dog at some point, but
the dog's Piper. Well, there's a cat. There's 3 cats, and there's a dog.
I didn't realize that there were cats as well. So they have a new puppy. Adam and Aaron have a new puppy.
Piper, come here. Piper, come here.
Where you go?
Come here. Come here. Can you put your hands up here?
Ow. Come here, baby girl. Wooed up, ready, girl.
Oh, so cute.
Here's Piper.
Hey, Piper.
She likes attention. So
I can imagine.
She likes anyone that's paying attention right now.
So we have a couple of comments. One from Shannon Sheehan, who I assume
that's my sister. Hi, Shannon.
It's a wonderful concert. So, and Patrick has asked, Patrick Merrill, which I guess that's one of your students, maybe?
Yeah.
How do you change your vocal approach when you're singing with harpsichord versus piano, Aaron?
I don't. There's the short answer. I have to sing out a little bit more with the piano. It's just a louder instrument.
Yeah.
There's more there. And it was, I don't remember. Did we have that full stick, or did we have it part stick? Or
it was full.
It was
stick,
full.
yeah.
So yeah, whenever I'm singing with a full stick piano, like either the pianist has to really watch not to cover me up, or I need to just sing out a little bit more.
Right.
Because I've gotten used to singing with harpsichord and Baroque orchestras, which aren't always that loud. They can be loud though, but
Yeah.
But I've always been told that, like, I've sung with modern orchestras too, and in reality, it's like if you can't hear me, the orchestra's too loud. So if you can't hear me, the piano's too loud.
Yeah, I may have been loud on occasion in the piano stuff, but
I do kick it up a little bit for a piano.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, in retrospect, we might have done it with the short stick, but that's okay. Still sounded amazing. Just a reminder for those of you who are watching, feel free to put questions in the chat, and we will do our best to answer them. Have you guys ever done like a full-length opera together? Because I know that's both kind of your specialty and your love, right?
That's actually how we met.
Oh, okay.
We were doing a Cavalli opera called Didone, which is the Dido and Aeneas story.
Mm-hmm.
And it was it was about a 4.5-hour opera that they needed to cut down to about 3 hours, or else the union was going to kick us out of the theater. Got a horrible review in the Washington Post. But yeah, that's how we met. And then we met again doing Acis and Galatea.
Yeah, see, I don't even count that first experience as the time that we met, even though we worked together for several weeks. The real experience was when we got together to do the next opera, which was Acis and Galatea. And
so
we were also both, I think, we just started flirting during staging rehearsals. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like band camp. So,
but we've had how many operas have we done then? I think we've done another Acis and Galatea together too. So
yeah,
we've been able to work together on longer projects as well.
Right.
But it's not often that we actually get to do. I would say maybe once or twice a year that we are traveling things with other people. So it's not often that we actually get to sit down and make music together.
Absolutely. So we have a very important question from Grace, and she wants to know what the cocktail is.
Okay, Grace. So it's bourbon, Amaro. I can't remember. It's I think Ramazzotti or something, Amaro, and sweet vermouth, and actually a Tangelo twist, not even an orange twist, but a Tangelo, and a little piece of crystallized ginger.
Oh, that's like the present you get when you're finished.
Right.
Sounds amazing. I'm coming to
like
your house sometime. Aaron, can I ask you what it was like to go to the Grammys and do that whole experience?
Yes, sorry. Oh, yes.
Oh, there it is. Yes, look at it.
I'm sorry, Tacky, but whatever. People on the news are doing it all the time
now. What was it like? It was exciting. I think everyone should get to do it once. I've been lucky to get to do it twice. I didn't win both times, but I've been there twice. And that time I woke up that morning in whatever is above Nova Scotia in Canada. I don't want to say Moncton, but it's like, it was.
It could have been, yeah.
It was actually doing a recording.
Yeah, New Brunswick, yeah.
Yeah, and I had to fly at 6 a.m. from there to Montreal. And then I got on an 8:20 flight from Montreal to LA. I landed at LA at 11:45. The Grammys started at 12:30. I got my bags and I got to the hotel where he was, and I took a shower. We ended up at the Grammys by 12:45, and I think by 1:15 we had won the Grammy. So I just barely got there, and I got to experience it. So it was, yeah, it's kind of amazing. It's super exciting. It's not anything that you would expect, but it's also something that you're like super grateful for. So.
Of course, yeah. Well, I mean, it's well deserved, of course. So what do you miss most about this time? Is it the active music making? Is the travel? Is it?
Well, I do like travel, but I also have like realized, because I've been traveling now like since I moved here. I mean, even before like 2009, I moved to Baltimore, and he can attest to this. I'm probably gone 6 or 7 months out of the year, and so this year has been like a reconnecting of home and kind of like of here, and so I do miss travel, but I also don't miss it. And the main thing is that I miss making music with my friends. I make music making with like great people, and like in person. I just don't want to do it like without in person. I don't want to do it over the internet, and and it's really hard. I know that that's how we have to make our livelihood, and we all have to do it, but it's just not satisfying.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I'm on the same page. I can't wait till we get back to normal. And, you know, everybody's doing the best they can in this situation. And, I've been a part of so many different, not so many, but several different projects that are trying different technological approaches to doing this. And they're all successful in various ways, but it just doesn't compare to what we normally do. And it's like the skills that we work for decades to hone are used kind of blindly to mitigate for the technological failings that are there. And if there's nobody better qualified to do it than all of us musicians that have been training to do this forever, but it's just not the same.
Of course.
And we'll keep doing what we can. But the more opportunities we have to do things in person like this with people that we don't care if we get COVID from, the better.
That's a little bit of a segue to one of the questions we have here. So Alex wants to know whether you're able to connect with each other while performing in a deeper way than other performers or musicians, presumably because you live together and like each other. He says, like, you know each other so well and know how to breathe and adjust for each other as long as you're going along. Like,
That's true. We were listening to the recording when you sent it to us, and we actually we did a good job. Like I know when he's gonna play. Like I know what he's gonna do. He knows when I'm gonna breathe. He's did a recording for some of his students like last week doing an opera, like a simile, and so I was singing Where'er You Walk, and I had never heard the recording that he made, and I just sang along with it. Like
this was a practice track for the tenor that we're using to sing this aria. So I'm just laying it down, on a recording without the singer singing, and imagining what the singer would be doing. And of course I'm imagining what he would be doing.
Yeah.
And and then it worked. I'm cooking dinner, he's listening to what I just, laid down in a track, and it's like, oh yeah, good, I did it. Right?
I was like, yeah, you did it. You like gave me time to breathe, and you like listened to me, and and I listened to you. So it's not just about the singer.
Not always. Not always.
Not always.
Adam, I wonder if you might talk a little bit about your harpsichord, because many harpsichordists commission their own instruments, which is a little bit less common, certainly for keyboardists, but for musicians generally.
Right. I mean, I've been waiting a very, very long time, or I had been waiting a very long time to commission an instrument. And it's, there are a lot of harpsichords out there, but they're all very, very different. There are tons of styles of build from different countries and different time periods that modern builders copy. But finding kind of like, if I could, I would probably have 4 or 5 instruments that are good for different purposes, different kinds of music. But I kind of I can't afford that. So I waited a very long time to be able to kind of afford to commission this instrument. And it's one that I feel is versatile enough to approach a lot of different repertoire. I was on this builder. The builder is John Phillips. He's in Berkeley, California. And I was on his waiting list for over 10 years before it came to be my turn. And then when it was my turn, I was like, oh, shit, I have to find the money to do this now. So that was a process. And so I've had it now for, it must be over 5 years because the loan was 5 years. And I've paid it off. So it's a wonderful, it's a German style double manual instrument after a builder named Grabner. And I love it. It's one of the best purchases I've ever made. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. Do you treat it like a baby?
Yes, although Piper the puppy has occasionally chewed on it.
Oh, really?
On the stand,
just a little bit
while I'm teaching, and I can't stop her. So we're working on that.
Working on that, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So, what do you guys look forward to most once everything gets back to normal? Is it dinner parties, or is it music making, or?
I do look forward to having having some people over, like being able to sit in the backyard and have a drink and not feel like we're being judged for like having people over for COVID-19.
Yeah.
But also making music.
And teaching in person.
Yeah.
Instead of everything on Zoom.
Yeah. I know that it's funny, like everything via Zoom now is like, I miss teaching in person, but I also know now that we've done everything via Zoom, there's never going to be an excuse for when I have to go do an opera. I'm going to say to the university, I can Zoom my lessons in. So they can't argue against it because they've been so pro Zoom right now.
Yeah, but we're never going to ever have a snow day again.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this kind of plays out once life can resume some sense of normalcy, because so many of the things that we've grown accustomed to doing during this strange time, like, are viable ways of doing things going forward, right? So a friend of mine who's a psychiatrist was like, I think we'll always do Zoom psychiatry going forward, and the insurance companies won't be able to say that that's not a valid way of doing it.
Yeah.
And the question is, like in music, like how much virtual stuff will we continue to do after this is done?
Well, I hope that we don't do any performing virtually. I mean, except for like, I hope that there's live performance, but that's being casted virtually.
Yeah.
But I hope that we're paid for that.
Honestly, like the one positive thing, or there may be more, but I'm going to say one positive thing about this is that like members of my family and an extended family can see Piper, can see us perform where they would never have normally gotten to do that.
Yeah. No, I would say like half my family was probably your audience tonight. So I'm like, hi everyone.
Right. So I mean that's a good thing, but
absolutely. Well, I'll let you guys go in a moment so you can go make another cocktail. But thank you again for just such a stunning program. And we're so excited to have been able to feature such venerable musicians and Baltimore locals on our series. And Aaron also for coming over and doing some of our other stuff for church.
Yes. I was happy to. And it was fun to watch those two.
Yes.
It's good to watch myself on video because I have to like learn how to do certain things that I don't. Like in the land of video land, like which is not the land of like being on a concert stage, you're like, I should just stand still and just kind of like in one spot. I see why they teach this in like probably like newscasters and actors.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, Videoland is a very revealing world that I have
it is.
not reveled in. Alex says, Piper, he loves you. So. or maybe "Love You" was directed at either or both of you. I don't know. It's not
Probably both.
it's probably all of the above. Well, I will let you guys get to your next cocktail, and I will just remind everybody that our series will continue. So we have a slight gap in the sense that we won't have one in a couple weeks, but hopefully on March 10th we'll present our next and then continue through the spring. So we just have to get some more filmed. So, but thank you both for such a beautiful concert, and have a wonderful evening.
Yes, you
Thank
too.
you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course, pleasure.